but this is also a lane we've seen Alacrity multiple times before just not have much success in.
Now he's going to have a run up, but he'll cop the shadow word there from Boom Boy, so we'll make the walk away. I do agree with your points, by the way, John, and I think one extra point to add on to that is you've given these comfort picks again to RSG, like Xiao Yu and Xiao Bon Bon, Hoodwink and Marcy. Like, we know how much these guys love these two heroes, and well, Marcy on Xiao Yu, I'd say he's one of the better POS 3 Marcy players we've seen throughout the SEA DPC, and it can be quite busted, as we saw in Game 1. See if they can pull it off in Game 2 once again, as we are going to start off with the top lane here, as you are going to have Xiao Yu and Xiao Bon Bon against Boom Boy and Dreamercell. Jonathan, what are we keeping an eye out for this top lane?
Not much. I mean, you can try to get aggressive early on. Dreamercell's already getting some damage in. Shadowword is pretty big damage, huh? Xiao Yu has to be a bit cautious. Down the line, this evolves into a more defensive lane for NGX. You've got Time Lock, you've got Shadowword is healing. The Void can farm up, and as long as you prevent the angles being found by Xiao Yu and Xiao Bon Bon to play with the double stuns, this should be a pretty simplistic lane for Dreamercell. You know, he should farm up, hit his Maelstrom timing or Mask of Madness depending on what he wants, and just kind of sit in the jungle. So all you really need is for Boom Boy to get a little bit of zoning out, and you kind of feel good in this lane.
Well, let's have a look at the other lanes as well. I mean, you're going to have mid lane, of course, with the Bat Rider versus Ember Spirit. Now, you and I always like to joke around in this kind of matchup for Alacrity because we've seen him lose the Bat Rider mid so many times. And John, even with the Ember, like, Flame Guard's going to do a lot of work, as you're seeing right now. It is still a rather painful experience here for Alacrity, as XE Learn already going to get through the Flame Guard and just force him back. I suppose for Alacrity, as long as he survives the mid matchup, he should be happy.
Yeah, as long as he holds on, starts to hit that level 2 Sleight of Fist, level 2 Flame Guard, you can kind of hold the lane down.
Already going down. Very hard against the TB Oracle as well, right? Because you're going to have the Fortune's End into the meta of MKS, and it's a long route. So you get stuck in that as the Mars, and MKS, he's going to have his way with you.
I mean, you have great magic damage in this lane for NGX's end. It's a Zeus support, but a Mars, you can play around the spear down the line, but it's hard to get that angle. Roger just sits in the tree line, spams Fortune's End, enables MKS to keep that farm game up. And you could maybe try for the spear again, but it's not easy. And you just see Jokam kind of being held off by the Oracle anyway. So you just get the farm, you can get aggressive once Metamorphosis is up, and in that interim period, it just doesn't feel like it's easy for NGX to work the Zeus. Like, he is pretty annoying if he manages to spam that Lightning Bolt. It just doesn't feel like you get that opportunity to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes we see the Arc Lightning being maxed out instead of the Lightning Bolt for this kind of reason. So what Jokam does do is mid lane, the Ember gonna end up dropping, and it's kind of what we just talked about, John. Alacrity, he's gonna have a rough time in this matchup, even with the Flame Guard up, and XE Learn, he knows how to play this Bat Rider very well. Alacrity already off to a pretty terrible start here against the Bat.
And we talked about that momentum from NGX. It does feel like they'll want the Ember and the Mars to be in good position up top, though, getting aggressive.
We'll see what they can get done here as they... Boom Boy getting rather low himself, but RSG, they do back their way out. Here are the Fatal Bonds, as Li Xiao Bon Bon might find the Courier, but actually misses out. Yeah, the old Hoodwink attack animation just taking a bit too long, and well, NGX, they're going to be fine at the top lane for now. Props to them as well. Dreamercell, he's having a very good time farming on the Void at the moment, so at least that's a bit of a saving grace right now for NGX.SEA.
Yeah, he's having a much better time right now than MKS is, and there is a little bit of pressure starting to come through. The spear does connect onto Roger here.
Yeah, nice pick up there from Mizu. Jokam actually the one to take him on the Zeus, but something you desperately kind of need here down in the bot lane, and leave MKS a little bit more vulnerable on the Terrorblade, but not so much, I assume, as he should be just fine to keep that farm going. Props to Mizu though, like, considering he did drop a life here against MKS, he actually has slowed down the farm of the TB quite a bit.
He's managed to at least work that aggression, knowing that when Metamorphosis is down, you can threaten with a spear, you can threaten with a God's Rebuke, and still have a lot of presence there. Still needs to build that momentum though. I feel like all the other lanes for NGX are still a bit topsy-turvy.
Alacrity. Yeah, this is the most topsy-turvy lane here, John. XE Learn gonna find another kill on the Bat Rider as he sees Jokam on the Zeus, I believe. Be able to get there in time. In fact, never mind. He'll go chase him again. Only for a second though, as Jokam eventually going to back off to the high ground, and XE Learn, I think he's more than happy with the way this mid lane's going, so it just doesn't need to overextend for a support Zeus.
He's going to hit some real fast timings here, Mike, on the Batrider. Going for that quick travels along with a casual windlace just for some move speed. He's going to be able to run down, look for those angles in the ganks very quickly. And again, you don't have a counter to that lasso here from the side of NGX. You could maybe consider, I don't know, I guess Chrono and Arena's sort of soft counters, but it doesn't feel amazing just to suppress the bat from taking someone away. And you already see Alacrity trying to play the small camp, but he can't even take control there. Exilern just walks in, clears that out himself. The farm for the Ember is starting to get a bit starved out, and it does feel like the game's starting to get to that point where you expect Mizu with a stronger start, maybe just rush that blink and get some aggression out from there. And going back to Mizu a bit here, Mike, he has gone for the triple bracer. We've seen him do this multiple times in his offlane. I think his Night Stalk is the most notable, where he goes like 5 bracers and just tries to be durable. Namara is certainly going to have a lot of impact with this. We'll see if it does affect his blink timing. You still want that initiation tool on NGX. You don't want to rely too much on that chrono throughout the game, at least early on.
Oh, absolutely not. So Mizu, he's going a little bit greedy with the bracer build, but we'll see how long it does take him to get the blink up. As now top lane, Xiao Yu. He's going to be okay. They have the Fatal Bonds out, but looks like he is just going to back his way out of the Marcy. Instead, mid lane's probably the one to watch, as we are going to see an Arcane Rune being picked up here by Exilern of the Batrider. Bon already looking around for a nice bushwhack onto Alacrity, but won't have the angle. Keep in mind, Exilern, he's currently level 7 to the level 5 of Alacrity. So a 2-level advantage here for the Batrider, and as long as you can lock the Ember down for a moment, that lasso will be easy to land. Though bot lane now, Mizu going a little bit deep here against MKS. Now the turnaround is out. Mizu's still going to be just fine, as MKS now the one to try and back off, though Roger is going to get caught out a little bit. Mizu does have a spear available, but doesn't throw it out quite yet. He will save it for the final bit of damage. MKS is unable to help out without the meta, and so Mizu at least does secure a kill at the end of the day.
And you are starting to see that gap in the bot and top lane for the safe laners start to grow wider. They catch that Boomboy up top, though.
He was trying to soak XP there as the stacks were being taken, but is going to feed another kill away to the Batrider. At the very least, he does delay the stacks being taken a slight bit. You are going to have to wait 10 more seconds, but top lane, MKS getting caught by Mizu. Roger going to try and go for a trade, but is not within range to get the false promise off and rather purifying flames off. So Jokam is going to hold him back, and Mizu, he's fine.
It's a shining hope for NGX. They're starting to make this lane pretty unplayable for MKS after a strong start finding that kill early on. He is lagging severely behind, even in comparison to her facing forward. So a lot of room has to be cleared out for the Terrorblade. RSG is going to have to try to protect it for a little bit longer, but they're hitting the points here on their other lanes. You've got Exilern with a travel sub. You can just run around, again, threaten with the lasso, immediately pull someone back. It doesn't feel particularly amazing here. Ooh.
Yeah, lasso is up. Alacrity is at least level 6, so he's going to be able to remnant out, but now he's out of mana. Exilern still having a look around for the Ember. But he is going to go for the remnant TP play out for a free reset. We haven't really seen Exilern try to rotate yet whatsoever with that lasso. Just kind of focusing it on his own farm, but now with the BOTs up, you might want to try and get aggressive here with Exilern. Mind you, I say aggressive, John. He has 3 out of 4 kills for RSG right now, but he certainly is in a very nice power spike to make those rotations.
Yeah, and they have some good aggressive wards here from the side of RSG. They spot out the stats in the top jungle. So Exilern will just go pick them up, take them away from Alacrity to recover with, take them away from Dream Assault to clear out down the line, and just continue to build up that massive lead. The Batrider going to have a really quick blink timing on top of that travels. I think that's the point where you really start to play around with that. You want to play with the mobility your Batrider has, along with the Marcy to an extent, and just slow down the side of NGX. You know, just ensure the Void doesn't get the build-up. I mean, Dream Assault's still up there, number 2 in that work, having a better time than MKS for sure, but it's not a massive... MKS, despite his stats, is only 300, 200 gold behind. So it's fully recoverable for the TD.
The trouble here on the Zeus, John. They are going to land the Fortune's End, and well, Exilern showing up once again. Jokam, he's going to drop to MKS this time around as Exilern to be right back into the mid lane. Again, you still have that lasso up, and Alacrity, he has to be careful. You've got a Tumbler's Toy and Exilern. They'll start stacking up, but Remnants away once again for Alacrity. Exilern just not going to bother even trying for the lasso yet.
I don't think there's massive pressure to do so as long as you're preventing the Ember from working the lane. You feel pretty happy. Alacrity's timings are kind of stalled out. He's forced to just rush a Maelstrom.
Top
No
lane.
time nor farm for the Orb of Corrosion.
Xiao Yu, he got the Unleash off, and it's going to be a nice, easy kill onto Boom Boy. There's no way for the +5 Warlock to get away from that, but Xiao Yu now maybe in a bit of trouble. Remus are trying to get the damage out. Time Walk is there, and Xiao Yu, he'll rebound out as well, just in case the Chrono was set to come. His mid lane, you see Learn not going to be able to catch the Ember once again, so Alacrity playing very carefully, but now bot lane, Mizu may be in a spot of danger as the chase is on. XE Learn should easily be able to just go for a quick lasso if he wants to, but it seems like he's just going to save it in case Mizu goes for a TP attempt. And they just don't need it. This batter's so far ahead right now, they just don't even need to press the R button.
I love that Exiliran finds the one lane that needs the help. They want to enable MKS. They start to bully out Mizu, so that slower start for MKS completely rectified. Number 2 in net worth. TB's managing to build up ahead of Dreamwhistle. Faces Void, doesn't catch up all too well. Dreamwhistle already has some Mask of Madness, still needs the Maelstrom to even clear out some stacks online, if there are any left from RSG invading that top jungle, which there aren't. The top jungle hasn't been stacked up either. Triangle's not been touched. They're forced to kind of group around. They have Arena ready here on Mizu.
No, they found MKS. It's a great target, but they've got False Promise available if Roger is within range to get it. And for now, he is not, but he will be eventually. It's MKS still fighting this one out. They're trying to bait the golem out from Boom Boy. Now the Sunder is there. Mizu, he's going to get caught by the bushwhack of Zhao Bon Bon. Eventually, they do commit the false promise, but MKS, he survives. He's very healthy. Maybe they find Zhao Bon Bon, but he'll go for a run with the Scurry and might just make it out. The Remnants forward, but a nice Faith Edict from Roger, blocking all the magic damage away. The chain's out, but now the Sharpshooter. They'll drop the Golem for this. Zhao Bon Bon, he's still out of there. They're going to find Roger. It's not worth the Golem drop, though.
No, definitely not. They might have enough mana for a Thunder God's Wrath. Is that the play Jokam's looking for, immediately TPing home? No, not even gonna pop it. So they only get the one support kill, cost them some pretty big ults. And we talked about this from NGX's draft, Mike. They have a long cooldown on Chrono, they have a long cooldown on Golem. And when you commit one of those spells, it's an opening for RSG. They can look to run around here.
Alacrity's out of mana, John. Had MKS popped the meta, he probably would have had a kill there. Not out of mana rather, but out of remnants is what I was meant to say. But Alacrity, he will TP back.
Tower is under attack.
So, I mean, they are trying to set up for this bottom tier 1 tower. I mean, another big group up here from the side of NGX.SEA. 4 heroes down to the bot side. It's a question of whether RSG want to try and defend this. Dodge Wrath out, they're going to scout out Zhao Bon Bon, but he's onto a run again. Mizu going to try for the spear, barely not connecting, is now the Bushwhack and the Sharpshooter. Zhao Bon Bon, he's just proving impossible to catch, really abusing the mobility of the Hoodwink. So NGX.SEA, they are at least going to find the bottom tier 1 out of this.
And not the biggest tower to take. It's allowing an opening for RSG to play towards mid. MKS is around with a protection of Roger. Metamorphosis is up, and they apply that pressure. Arena is back up for Mizu, so he could try to make a play here. They're dragging everyone in for his defense.
Oh, spear's wasted. Mizu going to use it on the illusion. He'll be back up in 7 seconds for that spear as they are going to bring the Void in. This could be a great Chrono opportunity. Mizu, he's going to find a nice arena. MKS going to need some help right now. They have the False Promise available, but they don't have the Oracle. He's stuck in the Chrono. Instead, Lasso is out, but will not drag him out of the Chrono either. Mizu's going to be okay, it seems, as XE Learn cannot trade. At least not for now, but NGX.SEA, they're still going to be able to back off just fine. Nobody being caught out, and a very nice rotation now from the Dire team. What seems to be the first successful team fight for NGX.
And managed to make it work. Great Chrono from Dreamwhistle to catch the Oracle inside as well, preventing the save. And that's what has to happen almost every Chrono. You need to be able to catch the Oracle plus a core to even think about killing off the core. You do have the magic damage on hand. That Zeus still has the maxed out lightning bolt. So there's still a lot of damage that can come in. Even though your Void isn't that farmed up yet, you can play with your supports here. And Archie does get a bit punished for being out of position. You saw the TPs coming in there, Mike. That was, I think, under vision. They managed to dodge out and declump themselves. I think we were seeing Roger try to go for an early false promise, walked off, doesn't have a range.
Xiao Yu not going to be able to get in range for the dispose either. With the Void and the Zeus is going to be just fine. The top lane, Alacrity. I'll play around here with MKS. Fortune's then going to hold him down for a moment, but he is just going to remnant back once again. Yeah, Alacrity's had a very rough laning stage, but he's doing his best to try and make some space here on the map. To get that Maelstrom timing going for the Ember, and but to be fair, John, he is getting rather close to the Maelstrom now on the Ember, so not all doom and gloom here for the Ember Spirit, but it is certainly a much slower process than I'm sure Alacrity would want.
It's still slow going, but he is recovering well enough, not too far behind in comparison to RSG, especially after that slower start. NGX did try for a smoke play. RSG is as well lining up here.
Dire's middle tower.
Close. Is it going to be up? No, it's not in time. However, they've still got Alacrity with mks chasing him down, but keep in mind there's no meta available right now. Still, Alacrity's in big danger. He's going to drop mks, trusting the illusions to get the job done. NGX.SEA, they try to rotate to force the fight, but now they might be in danger. XE learns around on the Batrider looking for a lasso target. And NGX.SEA, they are trapped in the northern tree line. They don't think they can jump this TB. It's just not safe enough.
They need to be able to isolate the Oracle. Roger just staying well far back this time around. And we know that some of the focus is onto the top, so they're starting to apply some pressure onto the mid, just keeping the lane shoved in and preventing NGX from feeling comfy and farming up. DreamWhistle still getting some space out here, but the other cores are kind of tied in just to prevent that aggression. And you have to appreciate that Oracle, like the root coming in, lined up that kill.
Absolutely. Jocam now getting picked off here by Zhao Bonbon. A very nice bushwhack there from the Hoodwink, and so you can see the vision game right now from the side of RSG, though it does get denied off, but Zhao Bonbon trapped in the arena. Basic again going to try and buy him a bit of time, as they do have false promise if they want it, but Zhao Bonbon going to go for a run. Here's your ulti now from Roger, but can they actually save him? He'll go for a TP play out, but DreamWhistle, where's the bash? There it is. Last hit, he'll get the bash off, and they'll get both supports on the side of RSG.
They're finding some small pickings here on NGX's side. RSG a bit forward with the supports, didn't have the force to back them up this time around, does get punished. You do get a lot of room though. Excelarian just clears out bot, forces rotations in Chrono though.
Yeah, committed. They've got the Zeus around as well. DreamWhistle needing that extra damage, and we'll have it in the end. Great Chrono there by DreamWhistle, and for XE Learn, supplying a bit of gold away to the enemy pos 1 now.
That's a big kill. DreamWhistle again lining up for those Chronos. Very well played. We did mention that it's a bit harder to use NGX's trap. They are finding the openings. They're finding opportunities to take these kills. However, RSG see that opportunity themselves to go for that Roche, knowing the TPs are down, clearing out that mid tier 1. They have a lot of time to get this done. Of course, you do have the sidekick from Xiaoyu to speed up this process with mks's Metamorphosis. And without the threat of Chrono, NGX doesn't have a good fight line up there. You're going to have to commit Golem if they're even aware, and they don't even have the vision to watch that Roche.
Radiant's top
Chance to go down for free, it seems. The only person you can really rely on is the Zeus to pop that ulti and see this happening, but like you mentioned, John, there's really no kind of idea here from NGX.SEA. It's going to be a free first Roshan to go the way of RSG now. They might just head straight through mid. In fact, never mind. They want to force the fight onto Alacrity, but he will be able to remnant out just fine here on the Ember. Still a 2k advantage towards RSG, and NGX.SEA, I suppose they are still kind of playing the late game kind of game here with DreamWhistle on the Void. Still a lot more time to go for DreamWhistle to be at that stage where he does feel like he can just carry the game for his team, but he's still sticking to the top of the net worth board, so it's still happy days here for DreamWhistle.
Yeah, just working the map well. He's been given a lot of space by his team. The only time he shows up is when Chrono's available, and that gives him a lot of time to just kind of play by himself. They almost catch him out. Don't manage to lock him in time. The Ember does buy space.
Nice spear out, Mizu. Even gonna drop the Golem just in case. It's worth it that time around. You get the mid Batrider, and now you have Golem up so you can try to force in the bot tier 2 tower and maybe get a glyph out of this.
They're just forcing this aggression up against the Aegis. They're making RSG think twice about trying to get their own push going up top. They don't fully commit. They see the fortify, they back off and just get themselves back to forming on DreamWhistle. RSG still clumped up around top. Metamorphosis is still about half a minute off for that push, but they are looking to line up and commit here.
They will. DP is up. Marina is still available. They've got to blink up on Mizu for a great setup here on mks, who is dropping low. Mizu trying to move in with the Thunder. Is there in time? Into the go after Roger with the bushwhack. He's going to make it, but not enough time to make it for Roger. So the sharpshooter is there, but mks, he's dropping low now. They'll still have the Aegis up. They are not able to snipe. In fact, Zhao Yu gonna make the jump in, but there's your Chrono being committed there by Dreamer Cells. A nice bushwhack. Zhao Bon holding them down, but Zhao Yu is still gonna drop as they've got the Aegis down as well. XE Learn trying to go for a lasso out onto one. He'll find Joe Cam. They've got the meta to play with as well. That'll be one down. Dreamer Cell, he still wants to keep the fight going. Reflection is there. Mizu not landing the spin on the right target, so Alacrity, he's going to drop it now. Mizu going to get rooted up by Roger. Might just drop here with the buyback. Is there Alacrity? He'll jump back in onto the Terrorblade. He'll get the chains down. MKS still alive. False Promise will heal him up as Dreamer Cell. Trying to chase XE Learn, but he's fine as well. Instead, they'll turn onto the TV and get MKS down. But Roger, he's still trying. He does end up going down though, as Mizu might actually drop here to Zhao Bon. But NGX.SEA, they will punish. They will take down the Hoodwink. And overall, I believe that was a favorable team fight to go the way of NGX.SEA.
They play on the edge on NGX. They're forced to buy back on Larity to get the damage out, but they managed to make it work. They isolate, they stagger out the fight, they ensure that RSG doesn't have the good angles they want. And Mizu was a major part of that fight there. He had a great boost from his Essence Ring, stalling out the damage from the TV. Your output on the Terrorblade right now isn't particularly amazing. You just turn on the Bulwark, you take away a lot of that DPS from the TV. You have nothing to soften up the Morris quite yet. You know, nothing like a Scotty up yet to really simplify this process. And NGX managed to understand that, work the angle, and just punish. And so they're building up really well, they're holding out. We're starting to approach that point where the Void is going to be a constant threat. Like, Dream Assault's just building up massively. He's going to have the Lincolns up for protection from the lasso. Even protection in his own Chrono, right? You're not going to get Fate's Edict up. You're going to have to be conscious about your spell use here on Roger, if he even has the range, as he's still working towards the Aether Lens. And NGX just smoke up again. They have the Golem at the ready for Boomboy. One target out, and they can push an objective.
It'll be a big team fight here for NGX.SEA if they can make their way in. Mizu, Arena, Blink is up, but a quick back out here by RSG. Going to mean they aren't going to get caught out. Can't even thinking about going for the Thunder God's Wrath here to get the vision, but won't bother. Make the smoke way too obvious. So instead, they'll try to force the fight in the mid lane.
Radiant's middle
Chrono's up in 5 as well. So they've got every spell available for NGX.SEA. Mizu going, trying to find somebody, and they will find Roger. Fate's Edict is there immediately to try and keep himself alive. He does have False Promise, but he won't bother popping. Just take the death.
Radiant's middle tower is under
With
attack.
that, NGX.SEA, they'll get some D wards, and they should have a mid-tier 1 tower to go their way.
Not the big kill they were looking for, but still provides them that opportunity to shove in mid. RSG not keen to fight yet. Looks like they will just want to wait more items out. They need MKS to be much more durable than he currently is. Wants that full Scotty before really fully committing. You do have the blink up in Exilern, so you can find the angles with Batrider. It does feel like RSG has decided to, you know, take it slower a bit. 2 supports on bot though.
Try to move in. Bushwhack is there. Alacrity again getting taken out as Zhao Bon sets up everything into Mizu. Dreamer's still, he's going to show up, and Zhao Yu is going to keep going for the fight. XE Learn, he has lasso, but he doesn't have a blink up right now, so Dreamer still, he can keep moving in. He'll rewind back by MKS. He's going to move in as well. They have the Sunder up if they need him. Mizu, he's going to drop. Dreamer still needs the Chrono. Does pop him, but it's too late. He'll try to run now, but XE Learn, he's on the chase. He'll get the lasso off right into Joe Cam. They'll go into the Zeus now, but never mind that. Instead, they'll find Boomboy on the Warlock. In fact, they even found Joe Cam. Zhao Yu able to get the rebound off to break the gap. That's a full team wipe for RSG. They wanted a Chrono for so long, that team fight, John, but they just could not find the one they wanted.
It's so difficult for Dream Assault. The successful Chronos we've seen are either solo Chronos with no one else around, or Chronos with Roger +1. You have to catch the Oracle. If you don't see the Oracle, you cannot use your Chrono well here. And now they're down some pretty big cooldowns for the high ground defense. No Aegis to play with for MKS, and Metamorphosis down for quite some time, but there's no threat of Chrono, there's no threat of Golem, there is threat of Arena, and that's about it, and it just doesn't feel enough to find those kills. Forcing out the Fortify could force out the side of RSG, not really wanting to play against that, but they're buying some good time. They bring the lead back their way here, Mike. 8k up for RSG. MKS top of the net worth board again, and the Scotty's inching closer and closer here for the Terrorblade, 1 part away.
Some things get very scary if you are NGX.SEA. It's always the eye of Scotty timing here for the TV. The Dream Missile, again, still doing a very good job this game on the Void, but he has gone a bit more of a defensive build with the Lincoln Spear, and but naturally he's going to go to the BKB straight after that. He haven't got the most insane amount of damage in these Chronos yet from our Void. Top lane, Alacrity not again. Jump on bomb with the smoke, might find him in time, though Zhao Yu not able to dispose, and Zhao Bonbon not able to find the bushwhack either. Alacrity does get his way out, but it's just been such a rough time for the mid-Ember this game, and well, Alacrity, he's just kind of relegated to making space for the team. Not really much else he can do.
Just needs to buy time, build up slowly but surely. Maybe hit his Ags timing as well. Once he's got that, you feel pretty good about slipping out from RSG. Their control is a little bit harder to land. Like, we've seen him escape from all these ganks so well. And the Ags is going to complicate that process for RSG. So if he can get the build up. You're also looking at the build up here. Oh.
Lasso, they broke the Lincoln shot. They'll root him down. Dreamer Cell, he's not going to have the help. They have nothing to drop. Golem was on cooldown. Poor old Boom Boy, he tried upheaval, but he's gonna drop. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Zhao Bonbon chasing down Alacrity. He has remnants available, but hasn't thrown it out yet. And there we go. He does get his way out. But they found the Void. They found the Warlock, and RSG, at least luckily for NGX, John, it's not going to be a fast Roshan time. That's the one positive for this Dire team.
It's a bit longer. I think even if it's a longer timer, they do at least have a little bit more vision by the Roche Pit, so they should be able to fight.
Yeah, one combination from Zhao Yu gets the Zeus down. As Unleash with the sidekick, it's just so much damage, Jeff. It's kind of stupid watching it, honestly.
Yeah, and you have full basher up for Xiao Yu as well to ensure that these heroes will stay down when he does commit in. NGX, at the least, with the respawns coming up, they will have some good team fight on hand. Chrono and the Golem are ready to go along with the arena, so they just need to work that angle. But again, RSG's just not been giving too many clear angles. Roger stands all the way back, and they're scouting around with Excelern.
Nice flame break from mks Terrorblade, finding him exactly how he wanted it. The arena spear is out. Mizu gonna try and turn, but now the lasso is there from mks Terrorblade, locking him down with the Starbreaker. Mizu's gonna try and BKB and run out of there, but they've got the meta with the Iron Scarlet and Dream Cell. Gonna make the jump in. Time dilation, though Mizu still trying to run, is eventually gonna get dropped by mks. Can they keep it going? MKS, he does run a little bit low, but you've got the Oracle to heal you up anyway. There's no real reason to back off while the Metamorphosis is going. So he will stick around. Keep in mind, he also has the Sidekick and the Sunder available. The Dreamer Soul now has Chrono up. You've got some form of an ulti to play with here for the Void, and it seems like RSG might have actually had enough anyway.
They get some good chip damage out. They're not going to force the issue. Dreamer Cell has a good angle here, though. Good flank for Chrono.
Now Bonbon. No, he'll go for Zhao Yu instead. Try for the Marcy. But there's your Unleash committed now. They do chain him up. Zhao Yu still has a BKB available if he needs to. Instead, he'll just rebound out as they just can't lock him down. This is kind of going back to the draft as well, right? Because you've got Warlock Zeus supports. So unless you have a Mars initiation or a proper Ember initiation, chances are you aren't killing anyone.
I mean, you're not going to commit Golem for a support. We saw that earlier because they didn't have any other opportunities, but you need to hold on to that now for the bigger team fights, and they're just not finding it. Again, RSG's done a great job here, Mike, just declumping, not giving those opportunities for clean Chronos. They're being very disciplined with how they hold themselves here, how they position themselves, especially in the supports, and they're just clearing out the objectives. Roshan, in about 5 seconds, it will be back up. RSG has a clear objective for the high ground push afterwards.
Okay.
Although,
just look at this, John. Zhao Yu's having the time of his life. It doesn't really matter if the Zeus has Heavenly Jump to be a bit more mobile. Zhao Yu easily catching him out. They might just go high ground again. I mean, why the hell not?
Yeah, it's still risky with the Chrono and Golem, but you're lacking a lot of that magic damage now.
Top lane, Lasso's there, onto the Mars once again. Mizu's just gonna drop. They do find the T3 mid tower, but they're gonna go up top instead. Trying to focus the top lane. Keep in mind, Metamorphosis is up in 15 seconds from now.
Oh my god.
Nice disposal. Look at the damage. It's just sickening.
it is. These softer supports, Mike, don't enjoy playing against the Marcy. Very easy to focus down, not much counterplay they can really do. Again, just down to the draft, down to the nature of Zeus and Warlock as supports. Not much counterplay really, unless you drop the Chrono. In and out they go. Chrono still at the ready here if they want to try.
It's like you said earlier, John, you need to catch the Oracle. If you can't catch the Oracle in that Chrono, there's just no point. In fact, this goes out again, into the Bushwhack, Alacrity's just going to drop. Poor old Dreamersaur, he doesn't know what he can do about it. Because again, you just can't Chrono. You can't commit it right now.
No, you don't have an angle. He needs to find his backline, he has no approach angle at all. And it just allows RSG to run. Look, they just smoke up and back.
Oh no. Mizu disposed again with the unleashed damage. My god, Mizu! He'll hold the shield up. He does at least get out of the arena. They even pop the Alacrity buyback, but can they get a kill for themselves? MKS, he's wasted Sunder. Maybe they can, but no, the false promise is going to be there. So MKS might die through it. Now the Chrono has been committed. They'll find Roger, but the Bushwhack is out from Zhao Bon. Have they found him? MKS, he is still fighting, still trying, but eventually does go down. A nice pickup by NGX.SEA. But try for a bit more now. Onto Xiao Yu they go. Zhao Bon trying to help out. Does force them to back off with the threat of the Bushwhack. But NGX.SEA, they do at least hold the mid-melee barracks. And they've got their bot racks to go. The game's not anywhere near over. But they are 16k behind in terms of net worth.
And see, this is where the lineup of NGX can shine, though. They hit the point where they've got Zeus eggs here, Mike. They can stall pretty good. Their high ground fight is good if they can find the angle, and they've got the opportunity for Roche. Yeah, XLearn will be able to scout around. Still has the Blink BK to play with Lasso, so it might not be the safest Roche, especially since you don't have the Golem and Chrono, and will force NGX to play it safe, but they will go for a smoke play here. They want that Roche on bad.
I mean, it's 20 seconds without the Terrorblade right now, John, so it's a great time to try and jump XE Learn here on the Bat Rider. He does back off at the right moment. If they can make it to the high ground, it'd be great, but wards are down. XE Learn still getting caught out with the spear from Mizu. Eventually should drop, but a nice spear keeping 4-star away is going to be enough to get out. And now Zhao Yu, he's trying to force a fight. A 3-man Bushwhack from Zhao Bon. Oh, he locks all of them down. They can't get a kill. Dreamersaur still trying. They don't have an angle, and now the Bushwhack. Zhao Pong is at it again on the Hoodwink. They found the Zeus Jokam. He's gonna drop. Roshan's open once again to RSG. And they've got Metamorphosis up in 10 seconds, but they won't be high. They found Alacrity again. Zhao Yu. Zhao Bon. It's all about the Zhaos here, John, as Randy. He's gonna try and run. Time walk away. XE Learn on the chase. He'll rewind. They don't kill Randy. He kills himself here, John. He'll do it himself. He's going to stand his ground. This game's over, I think, though. I don't think they'll call it yet, but you give up this next Roshan, it's going to be a very challenging high ground defense to come.
Oh, yeah. No Chrono, no Golem drop at the ready for the high ground. It's going to be a tough one to hold. At least the Golem's going to be up in 20 seconds. You can try to make plays around that. You got to appreciate, even on an individual skill level, how well RSG's playing. You saw Xiao Yu jump in, 3-man, 1 versus 3 fight. He dodges out the spear, he dances around them, and they couldn't handle him. Like, just with a BKB, he lasts for long enough, and then he just sidesteps an almost melee range spear. How do you do that? It's just maddening how well Xiao Yu's playing here.
Oh, everyone on RSG are playing very well here, John. It's hard to pick a real MVP this game number 2. That's for sure. Like, I'm currently leaning towards Zhao Bon or the Bat Rider XE Learn, quite frankly. But like you mentioned, Xiao Yu, he's been a real menace this game as well, setting up everything for the team. All about the Zhao for RSG. Apparently, is NGX.SEA. Well, they're going to try and defend that final lane of barracks. It's just so tough as now the dispose is there again from Xiao Yu. Onto Jokam. He's haunting this Zeus. He's haunting him. Mizu's going to BKB and run, but the bot Rax is just going to drop for free. They have Chrono off. They're going to try and use it, I think, as Dreamersaur. He jumps in, but it's only a time dilation. MKS has the double damage going, though. Hands up. Age is still up as well. NGX, I don't know how they played this one. Lasso's there. XE Learn's in. The wall's going to be dropped. Maybe they try with the Chrono now. Arena's up the wall. MKS, he should drop the first life and does. Meanwhile, where's this Chrono? Dreamer, so he's waiting. As Xealer does go down, but Zhao Yu back in onto Jokam again. Save the Zeus for God's sakes. Zhao Yu, he'll jump out of there. He'll leave MKS alone. So MKS, he's the one on the run now, and Zhao Yu does drop to Alacrity. Maybe they can clean up on NGX.SEA. They're trying. MKS, he's the big target, but he has Sunder up here, John. He'll commit it. Onto Mizu as Dreamer still chasing, has Chrono if he does need it, but he probably doesn't. MKS should go down this time around as Dreamer Cell still going after him, but they've got the TB trapped up. They'll clean up here in GXE. Only problem is now they are up against Megas. So how do you come back from this?
Well, you know, it's Zeus, it's Faces Void, it's Ember. They have wave clear with these heroes. They can hold high ground. They can force these fights. It is still a tough game. Oh?
With this, John, Xiao Bon Bon, is he about to do something very pog? He doesn't have sharpshooter, John.
Detection.
He can...
Detection.
They have the Zeus, John. They have the Zeus.
They don't know. They're not just going to randomly zap there. They have no idea he's there. He just stands there. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, they give it to Chrono. All right. I mean, it's something, I guess. Chrono, it's down for another 2 minutes, though.
It's a pretty long cooldown now. You don't have the Ags upgrade pad to lower it, so it is some time without team fight. And it's a lot of time where RSG is lacking a few heroes here for the defense. Might have to surrender a tier 2. I don't see high ground really coming out here, and they at least have Excellent to try to make some plays. Aeon Disc off cooldown could try to be aggressive. NGXO respects the respawns, do back off. They know they're still in a very tight spot in this game. Everything gone from their high ground except the tier 4s, and just hanging on up against the mega creeps. RSG still in a really strong position, but do have to respect that team fight here.
Oh, he's got the fake grenade to keep the vision up. So he does actually avoid that fake grenade. The Lincolns is broken, and that was actually Lasso breaking the Lincolns. I don't think Xealer realized that with the Time Walk, it does displace the fake grenade, so it doesn't break the Lincolns. Still jump in. Zhao Yu will try, but he's been stunned up. Old Promise, though, will give him another chance of life. They do move in on the Dream itself. They've got the Void locked down. He's down with that buyback. The problem is, John, you know Chrono's down. RSG, they know they have the freest team fight they've ever had. They'll go in onto the Mars now. No escaping from Mizu, surely. They've got the fake grenade vision. That'll be another. Is there going to be a GG call coming? Surely.
Yeah, I don't see how you hold without Chrono, without the Golem. You can buy back on Mars. You can maybe try to make a play. No arena for a minute, though. Mizu can't do much. Maybe a good spear back, but it's asking a lot from the Ember and Mars to hold on here.
Here we go. T4 Towers, Zhao Yu again setting up on the Mars here. Oh, Mizu. They've called. They've had enough. But I think the lesson learned here against RSG is don't give them